Yo, what's up, to all my kings, queens, and everyone on the scene in between with the green, if you know what I mean. It's your boy King Shelby Cobra, aka the Introverted Verbalist, back with another episode of Thoughts of a Predicate Parted, the podcast. Before I give you today's thought, pause the video, roll one up, and smoke one with your boy. You rolled up? Alright, cool. Thought is, imagine what Africa would look like today if its people, land, and resources wasn't enslaved, exploited, and exported to benefit racist, evil, greedy people. Go ahead and marinate on that one time. Imagine what Africa would look like today if slavery never existed, if motherfuckers never took the resources, the blood diamonds, the Gold Coast, took this people and this land and fucked it all up. What would it look like? I had another thought lined up for this one, but then I had the chance to see Black Panther 2 last week, Wakanda Forever, and I was like, yeah, that's what gave me the idea for this. I was like, nah, scratch that, postpone Africa, baby. And what made me give me that idea is because, you know, Wakanda, I feel like that would be a real place in the real world today. You know, maybe not the vibranium and the flying cars and shit and the Black Panther suits, but like I said, Africa had diamonds, they had gold, had a bunch of resources, a lot of land, you know, and yeah, beautiful people that actually work together to build some crazy, amazing, world-wondering things, you know, world wonders. And that's the reason that I believe that they were advanced, you know, they had advanced technology or information, knowledge that we didn't have. They were not as primitive as some people think. You know, mainstream media, the news, Hollywood, every time they show like a place in Africa, it's always like a poor country, like always like a village, you know, people hungry, starving, you know, which there is, unfortunately. Some people unfortunately have to walk miles for water and food. But the whole continent is not like that. There's rich people in Africa. There's still kings in Africa today. And there was kings and queens back in the day. We was kings and queens, never porch monkeys. Shout out to Nas. The song I Can off of God's Son. I think it was like back in the 90s. Definitely an old school album. You know, Nas, legendary hip hop artiste. You know, that's one of my favorite songs actually. I Can. One of the verses. I don't know the whole verse. I might have to say that for, you know, afterthought. But if I think of it, you know, one of the bars, I'm gonna drop it. But yeah, the first line starts off. It's like, before we came to this country, we were kings and queens, never porch monkeys. For those who don't know, though, porch monkey is a racist slur. So don't ever call any black person that, because you might catch one to the face. You know, fuck around and find out. And yeah, like I said, kings, queens back in the day. Even today. Shout out to King T'Challa. R.I.P. Shout out to Shaka Zulu, Mansa Musa. And like along with mainstream media, mainstream school systems don't even teach that shit. Like they teach you about slavery and Martin Luther King and Tupac, you know? Like that's all motherfuckers had. But they wrong. You know, it wasn't until TYP, the Transitional Year Program at Dalhousie. Shout out to Isaac, shout out to Patty, and everybody else involved with the TYP. It wasn't until Black Studies Net that I learned about dynasties, you know, African dynasties. You know, not just ancient Egypt, but there was Kemet, you know. Not a lot of people know about Kemet. And Ethiopia was like a prime location. And we was thriving. Man, to music, cause it was like a gangster. Cause it went around on like a gold fucking pilgrimage. He's blinged out, man. And yeah, so shout out to TYP for teaching me that. I learned about, you know, the Haitian Revolution and a lot of slave revolts. You know, we didn't just bow down and just choose the whip. And also another thing that I learned too that I didn't know, which makes total sense. Like I think it was like World War II. You know, when everybody's fighting the Germans. Well, at the time, well actually before that, before the war, you know, like I said, there's English, French, Spanish, a bunch of Euro motherfuckers that went to Africa and started dividing the land as their own. Just a bunch of motherfuckers that had no right being there because it wasn't your place in the first place. Motherfucking colonizers. So yeah, they went to Africa, you know, divided up. Like the Congo belonged to like the English, for example, and then, you know, South Africa belonged to this person, whatever, so on and so forth. You know, every fucking European country had a piece of Africa at one point. So now that the land's all divided up, you know, motherfuckers go to war, and then when they go to war, of course, Africans had to go to war too, which ended up a lot of Africans fighting each other, unfortunately killing each other over a war that they had nothing to do with in the first damn place. But since the motherfucker owned their land by their stupid laws, Africans had to fight too. So that happened. But imagine if it didn't. You know, no slavery, no war, no conquering, no colonizing. Imagine what it would look like today. Wakanda forever. Yeah. Like, you know how like Dubai looks? Like definitely. There's definitely Dubai or 2 or 3 cities in Africa at this point, you know. And another thing. Like the pyramids, the sphinxes. You know those sphinx, them motherfuckers. You know, different crazy architectural buildings like that gives me reason to believe, like I said, they had advanced technology and knowledge for building, you know, crazy shit like that. Because the pyramids, like, lined up with the stars and shit, like, crazy. There wasn't all this light pollution like we have back in the day, so, like, the stars were, like, lit up. Those were the lights at night. You know, so that's how they learned astronomy. Became one of the first astronomers, you know, and built the motherfucking pyramids. And it wasn't the aliens, and it wasn't motherfucking 10 million slaves, or whatever they try to say. Motherfuckers just can't believe that black people can do some amazing shit, but we can. Yeah, actually there's this documentary. It's called the movie Pyramid K, like capital K, 2019, something like that. It's on YouTube. It's like 3.5 hours long or something like that. Check it out. Shout out to Papa Cobra. He actually put me onto the documentary. It's pretty interesting because they actually explain like how the pyramids were built. And like I said, it wasn't slaves. It wasn't motherfucking aliens. It was hard ass working Africans. And I'm pretty sure that's just like a theory. I don't know if they 100% confirmed it. Because like I said, didn't watch the whole documentary. But it's definitely interesting. And yeah, they explain like how they built the chambers. Like basically build it like from the inside out. You know, like how we built the walls. And then the inside walls and all that shit. Now they built from the inside out. So they got these like trap doors, trap rooms. You can only get 2 from a certain way. You know, crazy shit. Like it's pretty insane when you think about it. You know, what kind of shit? Be Before we came to this country, we were kings and queens, never porch monkeys. There were empires in Africa called Kush, Timbuktu, where every race that came to get books to learn from black teachers who taught Greeks and Romans, Asian Arabs, who gave them gold. When gold was converted to money, it all changed. Money became empowerment for Europeans. I forget the rest. The Persian military invaded. They heard about the gold, the teachings, and everything sacred. Africa was almost robbed naked. Slavery was money, so they began making slave ships. Nah, go check out that song. I Can by Nas. It's dope. But yeah, he basically breaks it down, what happened. Yet I know they started making slaves, turned, they I believe it somehow they got captives from war, then sold them into labor, and then they realized that it was like a profit, and it was let's keep doing it. We need more, and then they got a lot more. But before that, they would come to Africa for the gold, the teachings, and everything sacred. I believe Africa had that knowledge, they had that power, and motherfuckers were scared. For whatever reason, they was like, yo, you need it. I want it. I need it. Greed, man. See what it does to people? Motherfucking genocide and shit. It's fucked up. If we all came together, Conda would be. But yeah, that's just one of my thoughts. Well, what do you think? Because I'm actually interested in knowing, especially my BIPOC people out there, Black, Indigenous, Africans, people of color. What do y'all think? Especially Africans, because, obviously I don't really know what it's like over there. But Africans, they got a first hand of that shit. But what do you think it would look like? Drop it in the comments, let me know. And while you're in the comments, hit that like button and share it, I guess. Subscribe, follow if you want to see more shit, because I got more. Anyways, I'm outie. It's your boy, Shelby Cobra, aka the Introverted Verbalist. And I'm out. Peace. Love y'all.